Well, hi there everyone and welcome back to Infinity. Now let's just have a super quick aside to say if you have been following this series, first of all, thank you, you are very wonderfully crazy. Second of all, obviously I haven't been putting any videos out for a month or two, that is for reasons which have now stopped being reasons basically. But I have sort of completely forgotten everything that I was doing in this series. I've been watching through my videos and I think I've pieced it all back together again. But if you see any, complete logical fails and having no idea what's going on, that's, I apologise. I'll try and get back up to speed quickly. With that in mind, I am apparently getting rather hungry and starting to starve to death, and I don't have much food. There we go. So what is going on? Well, down here we have things. Things have been going well down here. You can see that we've been getting loads of crushed ores and dusts. These are all working away merrily. I haven't been to check on the quarries actually for quite a while. This is getting its way through some silver at the minute. I think that's about all that's running at the minute. And we are getting some of this stuff. Now, as you probably saw through the window, things have been going on down there because in the last episode we were building a marketplace. Now, can I... Is there still a way down here? I'm going for probably not. No, that is not a survivable fall. Oh, can I get down there? There it is. So yes, the marketplace, she has been a bit more built. I shall attempt not to splat myself. It's a wonderful defensible castle, this, with a ladder all the way up the outside, but it is useful. Right, looky here, we have a marketplace. The apple tree grew. Let's get on up and in here. These paths are still only sort of halfway done, but this is much more done. You can see I have changed the style of this middle bit a bit from the last time. I've put grass in, made it 2 layers. It makes it a bit bigger. We also have these. These are some sorts of stalls. There's nobody actually in them yet, but I think they look pretty good. I went for a... Hello. I went for a red and white theme, which sort of matches the castle, which needs a bit more work doing to it. I'm thinking I'm seeing things. Who's over here? It's that Mika dude, who apparently does not want to speak. Fine, if you want to be like that, you be like that. I think everybody else is over there in the inn. Yeah, I'm not particularly going to bother with them. But other than that, I don't think too much has gone on. This is still heading off out into the middle of nowhere. With these bits in, I think we're starting to plan building some buildings, shops and stuff, maybe houses going along around here. There should probably be something around the back as well. I don't think I particularly considered that because there's a row of stalls there. But yeah, there ought to be something over here, and it's getting night. I'll need to head on back up soon. We also pretty soon need to start thinking about growing some food. I'm really not sure about where to start growing food. If you have any good ideas, please tell me. Hello sheep, how are you doing, sheep? I imagine this... Oh no, we've got a few bits in here. But this must be completely out of fuel. It is. So obviously we have this sort of large area of land over here heading back to my old house, which is over there, isn't it? Yep. So, hello, chicken with a hat. You've laid me an egg. Thank you. That was very, very kind of you. So probably somewhere around here ought to be the industrial district, actually, heading towards the sea. Perhaps over here behind... Yeah, over here behind the hill could be sort of an industrial district where we're going to actually grow stuff. Because we're not going to grow it all up here. Hello, chicken, again. Right, let's head on back upstairs and into the factory, because you might notice there is a distinct lack of a windmill up there, something which we're going to have to sort out. Shall we sprint along up here? That has grown really rather well. I don't remember it being that big. It probably was. But let's nick some berries off it because I am hungry and I do not have much food. This is covered. I like raspberries. I'm sure you can do something really good with them, but I'm just going to eat the things. What do they give me? Half a food each. There we go. Now with a bit of luck I should start regenning health, which I am doing. So the entranceway hasn't changed that much since last time. I'm not sure if or how much of that side was built on the last episodes, but it's going up and around, which is good. We're trying to get something a bit more defensible. Through this way is our foundry. Not a lot has gone along in here, although we've apparently had an Enderman infiltrating the castle. There's a skeleton about as well. So I'm very glad this was all labelled up. We've got some coal coke here. We've got some charcoal in there, of course, as well. Blast furnace, iron ingots going in, but apparently not. We've got some steel ingots out, and I don't particularly know why that's not running then, unless it's... It is filled up with iron and it has no fuel. No fuel is running into it. Fair enough, I don't particularly need it at the minute because we do have the railway. Right, let's head on back upstairs because I was completely talking about sorting out our power. Besides which, it is getting to be evening and I do not want to be killed. Right. So yes, we are lacking in a windmill at the moment, which means we are draining power. Let's have a quick look at our scruffy bat box in a wall. This does badly need sorting. Yeah, we're draining power quite quickly now, actually. That's because that is running, purifying our crushed ores. Okay, so we need to make a plan. Now, obviously, in the past, we have used wooden rotor blades. I sincerely hope we have at least. And we weren't quite getting enough power because they weren't producing as much power as this thing uses, because it uses lots, it does say somewhere. I have no idea where it says now, but it does say somewhere that it was using 16 EU per tick, I think, and up there we were producing about 13. We need a better source of power. I'm going to stick with windmill power for a while, because what you can do is you can build better rotor blades. We built wooden ones. We're now going to build iron ones. Okay, so you can see these operate from 10 to 60, these operate from 14 to 75. I'll get more power out of them is the idea. They are fairly easy to make. We need some iron plates, some iron, and we need one of those iron shafts. The iron shaft is a block of iron in the metal former. Now the metal former has ended up down there. Okay, so we need a block of iron, chuck it in extruding mode. So set that to extruding mode, make us up, we should have iron just sat about. We have a load of iron there. There's probably some sat in project benches. My word, that's a mess. This is where I wish I was much more tidy. So I've got a block of iron. We really ought to get this through before I run out of power to put things in extruding mode. We're also going to need many, many iron plates. Now we've got a ton. Actually, we have done pretty well for making ingots. That's the output chest, isn't it? So I'm happy with that. So there were 2 iron plates in there. Oh, there's 5 iron plates in there. That's good because we need lots. So we need 24 iron plates. We have 5, which means we need another 19. So let us see if we can completely drain the power by putting them through here. We may possibly not have enough power, especially with this running. Is there tons of stuff in this? Oh, there is, isn't there? Gold, copper, etc., etc. Does this know to... I need to go around. My voice completely disappears. I need to go around and check what's going on in here. This takes in tin dust, lead ore. Tin dust and purified tin ores. Okay, so this is taking in the crushed stuff. This one's taking in the ores. That's right, that macerates, that cleans. And this electric furnaces. So it should be taking in crushed. So it should be taking in the purified ores, which appear to be ending up in here. So we've got some purified crushed silver and tiny piles of silver, because they weren't set to go through. There's purified lead in there as well. Now that just gets smelted off into silver, doesn't it? So that's in the wrong place. As is that. Sorting out our system live on air, relatively speaking. So the purified crushed lead is set right. That's what isn't. So all that can go round and into my dump chest. Ideally though, oh, we've run out of power, haven't we? After one iron plate. Never mind. Yep, we are completely dead for power. Well, that can just all go through there, because that doesn't run off power. There we go. And we can... Do we have a forge hammer? We do. We have an almost dead forge hammer. That's fine. We can just smack out these with the forge hammer. It is a lot quicker anyway. So... we want to make 4. And we need 4 loads of iron in the middle, and we are going to get us some iron rotor blades, coupled with some of those with that, and we get our kinetic gearbox rotor iron. Now it is, I think, the middle of the night, and I'm not going to go out there in the middle of the night, because that would be rather silly. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to say, obviously you can also make a steel one, which wouldn't actually be that difficult to do because I have plenty of steel being made in my furnaces downstairs. I may have to sort of fill them up again. All that needs is refined iron plate and steel. The refined iron requires steel rolls, so I can make steel instead of refined iron. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. The other one is a carbon fibre one, which requires carbon rotor blades. Those are going to be made from carbon plates, which is all basically coal dust used in various ways. So again, that isn't that expensive. I could get around to doing that. But for now, what I'm going to do is wait until morning, and I shall see you then. Okay then, good morning. It is the morning, and hopefully there are no creepers about. I really need to sort myself out with a better bedroom than this tower, which is open to the sky. Those are actually proper clouds in this version, aren't they? I need to go up there and explore clouds. I have a ship. I could just go and do that. Maybe I'll go up and do that. Right, completely random things to think about there. So, is there a bat? There's a bat box here. I completely didn't know there was a bat box there. I have forgotten. This is in fact powering all of this stuff, isn't it? Which is all switched off at the minute because reasons. So many things to check up on. Right, kinetic winds generator. Rotor is missing. Rotor is now in place. 2 weak for rotors. This does happen sometimes, doesn't it? So that is fine. This does depend on how windy it is at any particular time. If you remember, my wooden rotor actually did that at some point, so I'm just going to wait until it works. Tomorrow it probably will. Sometimes it just doesn't like working when you first put it on. These are a bit glitchy, these things. Let's get into this. and finish off by having a fly up into the air. Mount ship. And are we? Yep, we are. We have no idea on the key bindings. Okay, 1 second whilst I check my key bindings. F and G, how interesting. Right, let's go up then and see what we can see. It has been a while since I've messed around in an Archimedes ship. I need to tidy up the area around that lava flow. I wonder if I can make a feature of it. And let us fly to the clouds. Now I suspect I cannot stand on the clouds if I know much about clouds, but it'll be interesting to see what they are. Because they are proper clouds, aren't they? Let's have a look at our little world. It looks pretty good from up here, actually. I like it. I may have to start... it looks like I'm going to have to start going into that forest. A bit of deforestation is on the cards, I sadly think. I also need to start thinking about protecting it on this front side. Now, I think all the problems are happening out that way, so I may have to build a wall and a gate across there. Here we are, we're at the clouds. Isn't that amazing? We have clouds. Are they made from clouds? I am going way too fast. Can I fly into a cloud? It's a cloud, it says so. Don't think I can actually fly into them, can I? No, that's that. So, oh, am I? Am I flying into that? I'm not flying into that. So that will be it for this episode, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. We'll see if we can go a bit faster next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I've got a parachute. Well, I've got a parachute. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.